Hello everybody out there, I hope you're all doing well. Today is March 24th, 2020. Today is the first day of the official kind of lockdown here in the state of Michigan. Most people and businesses have been shut down for a week or a little bit more than that. The schools have been closed for a while. So not exactly sure what's changed today compared to yesterday, but it's official as of midnight last night that we're on lockdown. And most of the businesses that I looked at were already shut down, but I'm sure it makes it more official so that there's consequences if they don't, if they don't close. But hey, we're here. I left the house yesterday to get some groceries, take my parents some groceries and get some medicine. Other than that, Diane and Jasmine have been going for walks. I'm gonna probably start going today. I was doing some work from home yesterday, stuff for the school district that I work for. And so I've been away from here for a couple days. Sunday we just kind of cleaned the house and kind of relaxed, watched some Netflix. So I didn't do one of these Sunday. Yesterday just got too busy with other things. So back today. Today I think I'll talk about maybe blue hour and long exposure. So, excuse me, had to get some caffeine there. So what that is long exposure is when the shutter's open. You'll see me talk about that in other videos. The shutter will be open for an extended period of time. Typically, blue hour is about 20 minutes, I'd say, a half hour after sunset or before sunset. So a lot of photographers will shoot sunset and then they'll take off and be on their way. What I try and do is then wait another 15-20 minutes to start shooting blue hour. Blue hour, they call it blue hour, but it really lasts about, there's about a 10-minute peak time that I've found, sometimes a little bit longer. With your naked eye, you can see that there's blue in the sky, but if you shoot long exposure, it really brings it out and really makes it vibrant, really with anything. At nighttime, a lot of the photos you'll see of mine, it might look like it's just a quick still shot. But I do a lot of long exposure at night to really kind of just make it have a different look. And even with black and white, I find that the long exposures just have a different feel to it. So if you look at some of my black and white and you think it looks a little bit different, that's typically what it is that it's that extra exposure to the shot that I then turn into black and white. But anyway, it's about blue hour. I really love just setting up my tripod. So you have to have a tripod because you're going to have that shutter open for an extended period of time, or you need something to have your camera steady. I would highly suggest, if you're going to take photography even somewhat seriously, get a tripod. You can do so much more with the tripod than you can with just handheld. Even with handheld shots, if you zoom in all the way, unless you're really fast shutter, you can see that there's a little bit of blur. But with a tripod, it keeps everything really steady and still. So with long exposure, make sure that you're using either a remote or you're using the timer on your camera. Your camera, most cameras have a 2 and a 10-second timer. So you hit it, wait 2 seconds, and then it'll take the photo, or 10 seconds. And or you can buy a remote, or a lot of cameras have apps now that you can use. So however you want to do it, that's up to you. So, but anyways, for blue hour, some of the photos that I've shown behind me and that I'll continue to show, it really just, it does a couple things. I love the photos that I'm able to take, but also everywhere after sunset kind of empties out. So a lot of times you'll be sitting there 20 minutes, 30 minutes after sunset or before sunset, and there's no activity. And so you're in this beautiful place that might have just been busy with people, looking at the sunset or taking photos of it. And now all of a sudden you're there by yourself, and it's truly amazing. I should do a video about just everybody leaving a certain spot right at sunset and then me sticking around, because it's funny just to see them leave. I should do a time lapse or something. But yeah, so just set up your camera, set it on a tripod. And then whatever f-stop you want, that depends on the depth of field that you're gonna want. Typically on these, I have it at an 8 or an 11. Sometimes I go up even higher. So that way I have to have the shutter open longer to get the exposure. And I'll try to keep the ISO at 100. Sometimes I'll have to bump it up a little bit, but with the tripod, you can really keep it at 100. You can get your f-stop to somewhere in an 8 or 11, somewhere in that range, and then you can open up that shutter. And most cameras, the shutter will go open to about 30 seconds. But then if that doesn't work, you can go into the bulb feature and you can open up the shutter longer. Typically I find that there's not very often that I have to go past that 30-second, unless I'm trying to do some stars that are moving or something really specific that I might need to be open longer. In general, I can get most of the shots with that 30 seconds or under shutter speed. So most of the Blue Hour shots that you see that I've taken are about 30 seconds. Like I said, it does change from time to time, but I'd say a majority of them, maybe 80%, are at that 30 seconds. So hope that helps. Please let me know if you have any questions, but next time you go out and take some photos, and just stick around after sunset or go before sunrise and capture that time. It really brings out something different in the sky, especially if you don't have any clouds, because most photographers, you want some clouds for some depth to your photo. But with the Blue Hour, it really actually acts as its own feature in the photo, that blue bright sky is there. Like one of Nashville I took, it was just really blue in the background, so I didn't care that there weren't any clouds, that sort of thing. So it just has, the one thing about photography is that I want to have a lot of tools in my toolbox, and this is just one of those that I add to it. So I might have shot all day and then I just get one shot that's a Blue Hour shot. So I'm not probably getting a bunch of different angles and a bunch of different looks, but it's just that one that you kind of wait around for and you capture. And a lot of times that's the shot of the day, is that Blue Hour shot. So once again, about a half hour before sunrise, about a half hour after sunrise or sunset, that's when Blue Hour happens, right in that ballpark. There's apps that'll tell you when it is. So there's a lot of ways, but it's just one more feature that you can add into your toolbox there to become a photographer and just to have some fun with it. So as always, you can find me JohnMcGrawPhotography.com. Subscribe if you like this. I'm on Instagram. I'm on all the social medias. Come find me. Love to follow you back. Shoot me a comment, whatever you want to do. So thanks to everybody out there working, keeping the country going and the world. Appreciate everything you're doing, and talk to you soon.